let's go. I have already tried to film this video and it went terribly, so I'm trying again. Oh, ooh, sorry if the camera is shaking. I just hit the desk.
Really? It's only been a minute. I need to slow down, Mama. Sorry if I'm talking so fast.
Hi beauties! Thank you so much for joining me again on my channel. If you have stuck around, it has been a few months and I do apologize again for my inconsistency. I am trying to get better. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. Hi, my name is Jacob. This is my YouTube channel. I'm still not sure exactly what it will consist of, but so far it's been all things beauty. I am an avid makeup lover and enthusiast, so if that is something you're interested in, hopefully you stick around and subscribe. This video today is going to be all about my makeup collection thus far. We are in the middle of 2022. Hopefully your guys' year has been going a lot better than the past 2 years. I know mine has definitely made a turn for the better, thankfully. So I'm going to be showing you everything that I have in my collection, from my eyeshadows, to my pigments, to my cream products, to my foundations, just everything that I have, hopefully giving you guys a better idea of the things that I like. And if you guys see anything that catches your eye, hopefully you'll let me know down in the comments that you want me to use it in a future video. I do have a new camera, so I hopefully have better luck in the future with the filming, editing, and uploading. And if so, my videos will become more consistent. Without further ado, I think I'm just gonna jump on into it. I'm gonna show you guys my beauty space and then we're gonna get right into the collection. Like I said, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna jump right into the video. Okay, beauties, so this is my makeup space. That is my chair that's usually over there in front of the desk where I get ready. Got my cat tree, Kibo up there. This is where I keep most of my lipsticks, a few of my special palettes, some brushes. I also keep all of my eyeshadow brushes and face brushes and all that fun stuff in here. On the bottom there's some extra stuff that hasn't been opened. From here up, I have most of my other palettes, if not all of my other palettes.
And then, oh my god, I'm so sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. They are going crazy because my sister has just arrived with my nieces. I'm so sorry.
This is my desk. It holds everything that I need to just grab at any moment's notice. Makeup cart holds everything else. I usually have that right next to me. And then on my shelf here, I just have some setting spray and some toys. But yeah, let's get right into it, guys. I'm gonna show you all of it, so here we go. Just starting over here on this side, like I said, I have some essence sprays, and then these are mainly setting sprays, stuff that I bought in bulk and I'm trying to get rid of, and then just some other stuff that I've recently purchased and I'm trying to use up. That's from Makeup Revolution, a Makeup Obsession, and then the Urban Decay All-Nighter Travel Size. Back here I have the Beauty Bay setting spray, the Kimchi setting spray, and then another Urban Decay All-Nighter. Moving right along here to my desk. Sorry you guys, I'm gonna be trying my best to keep this camera on the stuff that I'm talking about. This is a paint book palette, as you can see. Has not been opened or used yet because I am still using my green palette over here. So I've got some pressed powders right here, BH, Makeup Revolution. This one is actually from Sheen or She Glam. This is my milk powder. So right here I have my Urban Decay Velvetizer powder, some Ghost Revolution Luxury Baking Powder. I just mixed that into this powder, which is like a concoction of Physicians Formula and I want to say e.l.f. And then I have this Pretty Vulgar powder, which is not opened, but just in line for being used next. And then I have some foundations. This is to neutralize any foundations that are too worn for me. There's some samples actually that I got from She Glam. I love that they do this because I also got to try out 3 of their new balm foundations, which I really like, and I'm really excited to use them up because the sample sizes are pretty good, girl. And then of course I just got a bunch of different primers, my Milani, Essence, Catrice, and Revolution. Going over here, just some liners, gel liners, water activated liners, some from NYX, from Pretty Vulgar. This is from Beauty Bay. And then these two on the end here are the Creator Revolution, the Bright Lights and the Pastel Dream. So they're pretty good. Just some brushes right here. I've got some liquid latex, micellar water, of course, from NYX, This is my cream product basket. So I keep everything in here that I use that is a cream product. Like I was saying, guys, this is basically where I keep all of my cream products or liquid products that aren't foundation. To start off, I have this beautiful, this is from NYX. This is, yeah, it's a jelly highlight in the shade Opalescent. I have this beautiful cream eyeshadow from ColourPop Cosmetics, Hallucinogenius. I haven't used it yet. Then I have these 3 gems. These are all from Fluid or Fluid Beauty. I have, this one is in the shade Rain. It's got like a little blue purple flip. The shade Roxy is like a gold pink flip. And then Elysium is just like a pearly white. So yeah, there's those 3. And this is the Wet n Wild Halo Make a Glow highlighter in the shade Holographic. I have this Mayron cheek cream. I bought this on Amazon. I was looking for a dupe for the...
I'll swatch this one for you because I really do think it's pretty. Ooh, she's so beautiful.
I was looking for a dupe for that Fenty blush. This is the shade Berry Blush. I also have this blusher from Makeup Academy in the shade Watermelon. Again, something that I have not used, but definitely wanted to pick up. This is a stick blush, or sorry, a blush stick from ColourPop.
And I truly do not recall the shade name of this, and for some reason it's nowhere on here. Am I missing it?
This is the shade So Called, right here. Again, a beautiful berry shade. I love berry blush, if you haven't noticed. This is an unmentionable. I bought this in a collection a while ago. I thought it would make a beautiful cream highlighter. Kind of reminds me of Roxy, that cream eyeshadow gloss from Fluid that I showed you. It's got a little bit more different dimension as far as color. So there's that. Moving right along, we have this She Glam Glowing Up Skin Stick in Soft Tan. And I bought this recently as a contour shade. It does come with a brush on this end. Not sure how much use I'll get out of that, but just as something to let you guys know about. I do really like this brand. Very affordable, and so far everything that I've tried from them has been really great. This is a Trestique lipstick. It comes with this cute little lip primer here on the end, but this is the lipstick shade. I just feel like I have a lot of lipsticks in this color. Wow. Anyway, so I have a lot of lipsticks in this shade already. So I just thought that this would make a beautiful berry blush, of course, because I am who I am. And I love blush. This is in the shade English Rose. I am so sorry if I am not able to get, like, I'm a terrible cameraman.
This is my first video from this angle though, guys, so please don't be so, don't be harsh, okay? I like constructive criticism, but I don't like negative criticism.
Oh, another thing, if you're wondering why I have aluminum foil all over my desk, it's to hopefully keep my cat off of it. This is another unmentionable. I got this a while ago in a collection that I did with another person that I'm not supporting anymore. Anyway, I use this as a cream contour.
Do I have any more? Yes. I was like, do I have any more unmentionables? So I'll just get these right out of the way.
So again, I bought these 3 in a collection from the Unmentionable. I use them as cream eyeshadow now. This is another liquid highlighter, basically.
I'll swatch that out for you, just because they're quite nice as liquid highlighters. So if you guys do have these as well, and you're trying to find a use for them because you supported this person like an idiot, like me, you can try them into nice things at least. And then this is another one that I use as like almost a blush highlighter. This beautiful orangey. Oh, I love orange blush. So yeah, just tap it out with your finger. And see, it's got some sparkle in it, girl. Love it. So yeah, beautiful little blush topper, and it's definitely got some highlighter in there too, so you want to probably carry that a little higher than just on the apples. But yeah,
I'm not one to throw away things. I just repurpose things, basically. Some more She Glam stuff. I bought all 3 of these blush sticks. They come with highlighters on the other end. The only thing that bums me out about these is that the highlighters are all the same shade. So I definitely want to find something to do with these blushes, even though, I'm sorry, these highlighters, because they're beautiful. Let me swatch the highlighter for you. Just a beautiful glossy skin finish, great shine, not glittery or anything, just glossy. So this is the shade Risky Behavior. It's a beautiful pink shade. There's Risky Behavior. Clandestine. Another orangey blush. I love it. This is the deepest one. Voyage. God, I'm awful. I'm so awful. So those are those three. The next thing I have from She Glam as far as my cream products is another blush. It's got some shine to it. Oh my God, it's so pretty. Again, comes with a brush on the other side, but I don't know if I would use a brush. But it is just like a deep maroon shade with a beautiful orangey red shift. So this is the last product that I have from She Glam. This is actually a liquid blush, but I only picked up one in the shade Birthday Suit. It's a beautiful, like, neutral orange shade. I have this Milk holographic highlighter stick in the shade Supernova. I feel like it's very similar to my Hello Halo highlighter, but I wish that e.l.f. would come back out with these. This is the e.l.f. Aquabated Bronzed Peach Cream Blush and Bronzer. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's just this beautiful bronzer shade and this beautiful blush shade. For a while, this was the only cream products that I really had or used. That's why you can kind of see the pan coming through. But I love this. I wish that e.l.f. would make more of these. I don't know why they stopped making their Aquabated line. These are just some makeup crayons. As you can see, I've kept them because, like I said, I do not like to throw things away. And yeah, so gonna find something to do with these. I did sneak peek this a little earlier. Like I said, I have that Creator Revolution Painter's Palette, but it's not open because I'm still getting some pretty good use out of this iMagic 12 Flash Color Palette that I bought on Amazon as a dupe for the Makeup Forever one. And yeah, this is basically the exact same thing, just a lot more affordable. Last thing in my cream product basket is this TZ Cosmetics with an X Aurora Borealis Cream to Powder Highlighting Palette. So as you can see, it's got some gorgeous shifty highlighting shades in here. When you press in them, oh my God, they look crazy. They're just shifty highlights, but they're gorgeous. And this palette is so affordable on Amazon. So that is everything in the cream basket. Going over to my cups, I guess, because that will be the next thing to this side. Got my brow cup, other than this freckle pen. Again, She Glam, Freck Please. Have some tools just for combing out my eyelashes. This mascara is awful. Don't buy it. I got this in a BoxyCharm.
It's from Tristique. I don't even know.
This is my It Superhero mascara that I got in a BoxyCharm. I also have this freckle pen. I bought this in a duo from Amazon. The other one was good, like, it went green. This one's good though. A little bit dark, but still good. This is the ColourPop BFF mascara in the blue shade Blue Ya Mind. In this cup, really the only products I have to show you is the Brow Bar by Rima. So it comes with a cream and a dark brown powder and a lighter brown powder. And then I do really like the brush on this brow gel, although I don't really know how well the brow gel works. I really like the brush that it comes with, so I'll probably hang on to that. And I do like this little component just for like something you can throw in your bag. I also have a NYX eyebrow pencil. This is in the shade dark brown. My eyebrows are not very sparse, so I don't really need a whole lot. And then these are the other 3 brow pencils that I have right now. So this is my eyeliner cup. Basically all my colorful eyeliners. I have some hard candy in here. Got some ColourPop, of course. I have this Appeal one. These Makeup Obsession ones with Tiffany or Illuminati. So yeah, these are just all of my colored liner pencils. These are all my black liners. I have like any gel formulas. These are all the pencils, and then these are all the liquids. And then I have a whole nother section for all of, sorry girl, for all of my white liner. Other than that, I have a lot of glitter.
Lots and lots of glitter. Just gonna show you what I can. I'm not gonna open all these because that would take forever. So these are all my lovely glitter jars, most of which are dried out, but I keep around because I like them. Again, I'm so sorry for all the noise.
So this is the Pat McGrath Labs Cyber Clear Eye Gloss. Just, oh my God, I had to have that. We have the Unicorn Skin Cosmetics Fine line, basically all the glitters that they carry in the Fine. So this is all Unicorn Skin Cosmetics. And then I have this one in the Chunky. I also have these from My Way Cosmetics. And then these glitters are all from Lemonhead, Houdini. This is the shade Phantom. This is another Houdini, and Adult Film. So that's those. And lastly, I have a She Glam glitter. I do not know what the shade's called, but it was like the greeny gold one. So those are all of my glitter gels. Next, I'll show, these are my glitter liners. These are all from, what's it called? I bought them on Amazon. You know that Amazon brand. Got this in a Halloween thing. And these are all of my JD Glow glitter liners. And then this is a multi-chrome liner. This is in the shade Rule Number 1, girl. This is Pixie. This is Mermaid Tails. This is Fairy Bomb. This is Unicorn Snot. So that's all my glitter liner. We have my liquid eyeshadows. I have a bunch of the Pot de Creme from Kimchi. So, Standing Ovation, Cranberry, Emerald City, Lemon Tart, sorry, Amethyst, probably my favorite one, Sweet Dreams, and Soda Pop, probably my second favorite one. Oh, I forgot one. Forest Fairy. I have an Unmentionable, it's like a purple. Unmentionable, this is like a chocolate brown. Last Unmentionable is this green one. I would probably use more as eyeshadow.
Which reminds me, I should probably put these little turds in here.
And then we have these liquid eyeshadows from Black Moon Cosmetics. This is the shade Moon Rocks, the shade Sticker's Gone, Nebula, sorry. Maybe this is Neptune. Martian. I have this one from Kimchi Chic, but this is a Diamond Shards liquid eyeshadow. These also from Kimchi Chic. These were part of the 2 Queens 1 Desert collection. Lastly, I got this in a BoxyCharm from Ciate, I believe Ciate London. Yes, Ciate London. So that is all the cream eyeshadow products. And now, so these are all of my pigments. I have flakes on this side, and then on this side are the loose pigments. Mainly from Eyeshine. I also have some Magical Makeup, JD Glow, Sugar Pill. Yeah, mainly Eyeshine in here. So I'm not going to go through all those, but if you want to see me use my pigments, definitely just let me know in those comments because I have a lot of them. When we get into my eyeshadows, I'll show you what I like to do with my pigments, which is press them myself. As far as eyeshadow primer, I like to use the NYX Proof It Waterproof Eyeshadow Primer. I love this. I've also been getting into the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. This is the Halo White shade, but I do believe that this is discontinued because they hate us. And I also have the Most Concealer from Kimchi Chic. This is just the white shade. And then for any kind of sparkle or glitter adhesive for the lid, NYX Glitter Glue, or the Thierry Pixie Epoxy. That is everything, guys. Sorry, girl. Now that that's done, I showed you everything that's on my desk. We're gonna get into everything that's in my makeup cart here. I know nobody asked for this, but starting from the bottom, this is my glitter basket. So I've got some Trixie Cosmetics, a lot of random glitters that I bought from My Way or Amazon, some BH, some NYX, just everything. I love glitter. I love to make my own pressed glitters. I'll show you that later. I have a lot of glitter. This is all of my glitter.
The next shelf up will be blushes and highlights, and then into the face palettes.
Alrighty. This is all of my loose highlighters, single blushes, and single bronzers. To start, we'll go with this, my iconic London loose pigment palette. You're not gonna be able to see much. They're loose pigments, guys. They're very shimmery, very loose. I picked this up on a BoxyCharm, that store that they have. It was very cheap. I wanted it. I needed to press things. This is the Wet n Wild Moon Tears loose highlight. Artist Couture in the shade Purple Dream. So it's like an orange. Oh my goodness. Is this one gone too? This is a Glaminatrix loose highlighter in the shade Allure. You guys, I'm gagged that I did this to myself.
Look at this. I'm just wasting it.
I'm not gonna open any more of them because I'm so scared. This is a JD Glow Eclipse highlighter. Oh, this one has a sifter. Weird. This is the Becky G ColourPop loose highlight in Chisme. This is the last loose highlighter that I have. This is the Juvia's Place highlighter in the shade Clio. She's got a sifter. Yeah, not a whole lot of variety in the things that I just showed you because they are loose highlighters. Going into some blushes now. We'll start with this Wet n Wild Color Icon Shade Shifting Zombie Blush. This is not good. I bought this off of Amazon because I was very intrigued when I saw a video with Makeup Mugwump, and it swatches like a chameleon dream. I'm not kidding. She had loved this so much that she bought several of them. And so I was like, well, I am a blush lover. Oh, I didn't take that highlight off. Forgive me. But it just leaves a bruisey look on my face and I don't much like it. And then I feel like that green shift that it has, it doesn't go away. Next blush I have, everything is covered in sparkles, sorry, is this Note blush that I got from a BoxyCharm, Terracotta, apricot-y, but the shade name is Desert Rose. I don't think it's very rosy though. This is a ColourPop Super Shock blush in the shade Cruel Intention. The other Super Shock blush that I have is from this Tinkerbell collection in the shade Magic Moon. Love this shade, it's so beautiful. This next blush I cannot rave about enough. This NYX Sweet Cheese Matte Blush in the shade Silence is Golden. You would think that a yellow blush is not something that you were gonna work with well, but the way that this will transform any other blush shade that you have on your face, it doesn't come off yellow. I have this beautiful blush from ColourPop, their Sailor Moon collection. The shade that I got is in the shade Cat's Eye. This packaging is everything. I had to get it. These are very similar products. I bought this one. This one from Laura Geller came in a BoxyCharm. I loved it. Oh God. Feels so silky smooth. Ooh, there you go. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love this. So that is why when I saw this, I was very intrigued. I was like, oh, this reminds me of my Laura Geller Tropic Hues. Sorry if I didn't say that. That was the shade Tropic Hues. This reminds me of that. This is a Revolution Highlighter Reloaded. I don't know why I thought this would be a good blush. It is so bright. Like, it definitely has some pink, like, there's some pink hue to it, but girl, she's a highlighter. But I still like it. So I am glad I bought it. This is a Pretty Vulgar blush in the shade Prim Vixen that I bought in my BoxyCharm and held on to because I love a good hot pink blush. Getting the rest of the blushes out of the way. This is a Beauty Bay blush in the shade Merlot, a beautiful deep wine shade. Another one in the shade Cosmo. I hope you guys are like seeing a pattern, because I'm definitely seeing a pattern. And the last one in the shade, oh, this was a shade Coral. I apologize. This is the shade Cosmo. And the last single blush that I have here is my Kimchi Chic Beauty Blush Duo. The product itself is amazing. So all my single blushes out of the way. Going into bronzer now, this beautiful BH bronzer in the shade Cocoa Cutie. This isn't really bronzer. I would use this more for contour. It is actually just a single eyeshadow from Makeup Academy in the shade Mushroom. And lastly, one that I've had forever, the Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. So those are my single bronzers and my single blushes. We'll get into my face palettes. To start, I'm gonna get this out of the way because she's technically an eyeshadow palette. This is the Morphe Brunch Babes palette. I purchased this at the same store on BoxyCharm that I purchased the iconic London Loose Pigment palette. So I have turned this into a face palette. This is the Park Avenue Princess palette. Just some contour and matte highlighting shades for your fish. We have two of the Cover FX face palettes, light medium. So they both look like this, no different. A beautiful contour, a beautiful blush. These face finishing powders, I don't care for that much. The highlighters are okay, but they're definitely not my favorite formula. I have two of them in the same shade because one I got in a BoxyCharm, the other one I picked up at the store. It was a ridiculously low price, so I had to grab it. Tarteist Pro Glow palette. This is one that was gifted to me by my friend. Love this little palette. So happy that my friend gifted this to me. Was so happy to add it to my collection and use it. This is another one. This one I actually got in a BoxyCharm. Kept it because I loved that first one. Definitely was not disappointed. So happy that I picked this up. I either got this sent to me in a BoxyCharm or I picked it up at that store. One of my first ever makeup purchases. Got some neutrals, some oranges, got some pinks, which everybody knows that I love pinks, so definitely fit my aesthetic. They do not, oh, this is a BH Cosmetics blush palette. They actually do not make these anymore, unfortunately, but I do know that there is still some stuff available as far as their blushes. If you guys can, I have this e.l.f. bronzer palette. This is the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror face palette. It comes with a bronzer, a blush, and a beautiful highlight there. Last for my blush palettes is the Alamar Colorette Blush Trio in Fair Light. I feel like these orange shades look pretty similar on the face, but still a great little blush palette. This Pure Sculptor palette that comes with two highlighters and two contours. And then lastly, for my bronzer palettes, I have this Revolution Pro 4K bronzer palette. I bought this more as a contour palette than a bronzer palette. So that is the second shelf on my cart. The top tier
of... I'm making so much noise, I can't.
So the top level of my makeup cart holds all of my highlighters and blush highlighter palettes. So let's go ahead and start here. Sorry if she's a little bit out of focus, but this is the Kimchi Chic x Naomi Smalls 2 Queens 1 Desert Blush Highlighter Palette. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. When you put it on, you look like Linda Evangelista. Next, I have the Trixie Cosmetics Summer of Love Blush and Highlighter Palette. So it's got a beautiful pink, a nice light pink, and then a fun shifty pink highlighter in there. I also have the Trixie Cosmetics Back to the Fuchsia Blush and Highlighter Palette. This is her purple one. Such beautiful, beautiful blush shades. I love this Moon Boots blush shade. And then this beautiful, fun purple highlighter. It's not as scary as it looks, as long as you aren't going ham. We'll get into my Kaleidos highlights next. This is the Moon Cruiser highlighter. We have the Space Age Prophecy highlight. This is their multi-chrome highlighter right here called Gifted. Diamond Dasher, love. Mars Melter. This is the reformulated version. I absolutely love. And lastly, I have Solar Sailor. Next, I have this Kimchi Chic. This is in the shade Hope. Absolutely glossy on the skin. Next, for the single highlighters, I have this shade number 2. This is from a brand called My Way Cosmetics. She's gorgeous. Got this Milk Makeup holographic highlighter in the shade Supernova in a boxy charm. This is a Wet n Wild Make a Glow highlighter. This is in the shade White Raven. Again, I hope you guys are noticing a pattern. This is actually a She Glam hybrid highlighter and blush duo. This is in the shade Sandra Pay. Beautiful, stunning. I cannot rave enough about these. They are gorgeous. I feel like these are great dupes for the Cover FX blush and highlighter duos. So this is the shade Sandra Pay. This one is the first one that I got, which made me buy that second one. This is in the shade Seville. And last blush highlighter duo that I have is this from Kaleidos. This is their Lo-Fi Duo Blushers. I don't believe that they sell these anymore. I definitely had to pick this up because of this right here. This is the Sleek highlighting palette in the shade Solstice. Very popular back when I first started getting into makeup. I have nearly hit pan on that cream highlight. Some unmentionables. We have this Brain Freeze highlighter palette, the Platinum Ice highlighter palette. This one I'm thinking about repressing because I do feel like a lot of them hit hard pan real quick. I don't know. Stick around and find out. Getting into my singles, another unmentionable, this beautiful, 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 beautiful Choking on Ice. I can't not appreciate how much I love this. This is the Only Better highlighter. I showed this off in my last video. I bought this to compare to the Gifted highlighter.
That is the Kaleidos Cosmetics. That is the Only Better highlighter. So you can definitely see Kaleidos has a lot more going on.
They both have that beautiful magenta shift, but Kaleidos definitely has more. Yeah, that's them swatched out. This is the Only Better highlighter. That is the Kaleidos. This is my JD Glow. It's a Synopsis highlighter.
It's a beautiful soft.
So gorgeous. Again, do you see a pattern? This next one, I have not used her. I am very tempted to swatch this.
I'm gonna do it. Ooh. That is gorgeous. Stunning.
I got this from She Glam recently. It is the Metallic Glow Highlighter in Stay Sane. Might have to pick up another one of these little babies. Wow, that is really pretty. I have my Fenty Beauty How Many Carats. Some more unmentionables. Let's get these out of the way. Eclipse, Peach Frost, oh, Peach Goddess, Crystal Ball. And I have reformulated this. This is actually Regina George.
I hated this highlighter. It was horrible, hard pan, could not pick up anything on my finger, on my brush. Even if I scraped it off, it was not working. So I broke it into a million pieces. I mixed it with another highlighter that was too dark for me. This was a concoction, but girl, look at the pigment. Finally some pigment.
So I was happy that I reformulated it. Wrapping up the top row, ColourPop, Super Shock Monster highlighter. Beautiful pink flip on there. Flexitarian. This is my concoction. I ordered Flexitarian Monster. When they got here, they were completely smashed to bits. So I mixed them together and thus created Monster Flexitarian. Lastly, I have my Moonlighters from Black Moon Cosmetics. This is the shade Squid. This is the white shade.
There's some swatches of these. So that's the shade Squid.
This is the shade Jellyfish. Centipede. This is the shade Cat Shark, the shade Glowworm, another one I'm thinking about repressing, and lastly, Cat Shark. Those are my Black Moon Cosmetics Moonlighters. And that is everything in my makeup cart and on my makeup desk. Alrighty guys, so that was everything in the makeup cart, on my makeup desk, around my makeup area. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. You can feel free to exit now, but you'll be missing out on the best part. If you haven't already, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, because it's going to take a little bit of time. So going into the palettes, guys, I figured we would start from the bottom, work our way up to the top like we did with my makeup cart, and that would be with my rainbow palettes. So first up, we have my NYX Ultimate Brights palette. This is probably one of my oldest rainbow palettes. Next, I have my Urban Decay Wired palette. The next palette is my Beauty Bay Utopia palette. She looks like this. And this is the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. Next, we have my Glaminatrix Cosmetics U Beauty palette. This was a limited edition, but I believe that they might be re-releasing it again. I have the e.l.f. x J Kissa to the Rescue palette. I recently found out that J Kissa actually isn't on YouTube anymore, so pretty bummed to find that out. But regardless, this is the palette. The next palette I have is my Colored Rain Vivid Pigment palette. This is the Midas Cosmetics X The Basic B Perception palette. I don't believe this is available anymore, but if you were able to get your hands on it, this is just the most beautiful color story. ColourPop Fade Into Hue palette. The Hip Dot X Meatball palette. Some great rainbow colors. My next palette will be my Blend Bunny Surge palette. This is the only Blend Bunny palette that I have, but I'm really intrigued by this brand. I love this color story. The neon pops and the shimmers in here are really great. My Beauty Bay Nikki Tutorials palette. I looked at Beauty Bay the other day, and this was $10. I could not believe that this was $10. The shimmers in here are amazing. All In is one of my favorite shimmers ever. So this is a palette that I picked up off of Amazon from Delancey, the Aurora Glow eyeshadow palette. Neon pigments in here, awesome pressed glitters in here. An unmentionable here, but definitely part of my childhood, the movie Jawbreaker. I absolutely had to have this rainbow color story because of the theme. Jawbreaker, if you have not seen that movie by Darren Stein, starring Rose McGowan, definitely do that because it's amazing. And then also this now has some great sentimental value to me, if you'll notice. Right here, there is some gouges in my eyeshadows. Those are actually from Figgy, who is no longer with us, so. My Beauty Bay Bright Matte 42 color palette. Amazing. The Blend Bunny Blends palette is a lot like this to me. It's essentially an all matte rainbow palette. So I didn't think that I needed to grab that one. That's why I went for the Surge one. The shade Thurwall, I believe, is how you pronounce her last name. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But yeah, the Jade X Beauty Bay palette, another great color story. A lot more neutrals in here, but I do love the neutrals that are in here. There's some great greens, some amazing reds in here. Love the pops of color too. The Simpsons X Revolution Treehouse of Horror palette. This is the Juicy Boost palette from Colored Rain. Another great pressed pigment palette from them. This one included some shimmers. The first one was all matte. The Patricia Brights X Revolution Rich in Color. That looks like this. I love this pressed glitter called Whoa. My last few, as far as the rainbow palettes, I have the Kaleidoscopic Dreams from Tiffany or Illuminati with Makeup Obsession. Crayon Case Box of Crayons palette. This was actually a birthday gift from one of my previous work friends, Miss Flo. Hi Flo, if you're watching, thank you so much. I love her. The only thing that bugs me about this palette, and I tried to fix it, if you can't tell, this blue one kind of has a gouge in it. It says silver, and then baby blue has the silver in it, so I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not sure if anybody else has this problem, but yeah, the silver and the baby blue got switched in mine. This is my last rainbow palette. This is a giant palette, so I hope I can get it all in frame here. This is the XX Revolution, the Matrix palette. So it's got a blue side, and then it's got a red side, but if you look at it as a whole, she's a rainbow, mama. That's a rainbow. I don't know, some people complain about the Revolution formula, but everything that I've tried from them has been really great. This is the She Glam Gifted Gemini palette. They're really affordable. I think they're like $6 on She Glam right now. The Loving Libra palette. This is the Perceptive Pisces. This is the Spontaneous Sagittarius. This is the color story that I was probably most attracted to. This glitter, ooh. The Lively Leo, again, that glitter, ooh. I feel like you didn't need all these yellows, but like I said, for under $6. The last one that I picked up from this collection was the Virtuous Virgo palette, which is this green one. Again, that glitter, ooh. The next few palettes are all going to be from Juvia's Place. We have the berries, the violets. I have the Zulu palette, the Warrior 2. This is a beautiful face palette, I think. This is the Warrior 3, the Festival, the Saharan, and the Magic Mini. This is my last Juvia's palette. Now going into our next shelf, we have the Mandalorian ColourPop palette, the ColourPop My Little Pony palette. This is actually one that I got in BoxyCharm. I've kept hold of it because I do love the shimmers in here. The Ace Beauté Scarlet Dusk palette, one that I got in BoxyCharm. The ColourPop Powerpuff Girls palette. I have the She Glam Spring It On palette. This is one of the 9pan palettes that I have. I think this is the only 9pan palette that I actually have from them. But I love this color story. These shimmers are gorgeous right here in the center. These deeper mattes are gorgeous. This is a great brand. Very, very affordable. The Odin's Eye Angelica Nyquist Hella palette. Don't come for me, guys, but the plastic's still on this. I have not been able to use it. I definitely wanted to pick this up. The shades in here, the shimmers especially, were just so beautiful and eye-catching to me. I feel like this river shade right here, even though you can't see it in this lighting, it reminds me of a dupe for the new shimmer shade that's coming out in the Pat McGrath Mothership palette. W7 Mardi Gras palette. I picked this up on Amazon. It's a dupe for one of the Be Perfect palettes, and I just don't have the kind of money that Be Perfect is charging. Another palette that I got in a BoxyCharm, the Violet Voss Essentials palette. Another Ace Beauté palette from BoxyCharm, the Grandiose palette. The Celestial Thunder palette from Dominique, my bad, Dominique Cosmetics. This came in a BoxyCharm as well. I picked up the Revolution Soph X palette when it came out. This is the first version. Didn't feel the need to pick up the Extra Spice or the Rainbow Color Story that she came out with though. This is the I Heart Revolution X Elf collab. I saw this on Katie's YouTube, and I was intrigued. I felt like I needed to try this, and I got it on a really good deal.
So it's got 4 separate palettes that you basically can swivel around on here. There's this cool tone, kind of nosy color story, and then pretty funky color story, and this more colorful, vibrant color story, and lastly a bunny warm color story.
This is the BH Festival palette, the first festival palette. The Angelica Nyquist X Kaleidos Club Nebula palette. This is the other collab that I own from Angelica. Love this color story. She loves a deepening shade like these, and girl, so do I. the Kaleidos Escape Pod palette. This was the first 15 pan palette that they came out with. Again, the shimmers in here are just incredible. Kaleidos really knows how to do something with shimmer. One of my all-time favorite palettes is the Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. I do apologize, this is no longer available, but they do have a midnight palette that they came out with that is still available, and it is nearly this color story. I would say that if you already have this, you don't need that, but girl, help yourself because they are both beautiful. The Beauty Bay Wilderness palette, this color story is just gorgeous. I don't think this is available again. I think that this was like a limited time. I don't know why they do this, but they have come out with a range in this kind of color story. It's just not called Wilderness. And the New Romantic, a beautiful color story, and I know that they have 1, 2, or possibly even 3 different kind of palettes that have this kind of red neutral color story. Another Violet Voss palette that I received in BoxyCharm. This is the Pro HG eyeshadow, a neutral palette, but more warm neutral, so I really am attracted to this. All the beautiful pink shimmers in here. The Kimchi x Naomi Smalls 2 Queens 1 Desert eyeshadow palette. So coming down to the last few palettes on this row, I have the XX Revolution, the Matrix Trinity palette. And the last 2 palettes that I have, I'm not going to take them out of the box just because I find them easier to store this way. I have the Blue Blood and the Blood Sugar palette from The Unmentionable. Let's get into the last row. Okay guys, so getting into the last row, I only have 4 more eyeshadow palettes technically, and everything else is single shadows. So I have the 4 capsule palettes from Sugar Pill, C1, 2, 3, and 4. This is C3, this is C1. They all have beautiful mattes, great shimmers, and a nice big blush in them. I will say that Sugar Pill has some of the best matte formula that I've ever tried. And yeah, their shimmers are pretty great. I wouldn't say their shimmers are my favorite formula, but they're not the worst. So I definitely don't mind getting some shimmers in these palettes. And again, these beautiful blush shades. And this is C4. Oh, sorry, this orange one is C2. Now going into my Sugar Pill singles, I have them in these. If you buy like 6, you get this little Sugar Pill magnetic palette for free. I just keep all my neutrals in here. This is more of my red-orange color story. And then this is the more blue-green. So those are my Sugar Pill singles and my Sugar Pill palettes. I keep them all with my singles. Oh, starting at the top, this technically isn't singles, but I use them as singles because they're basically just pressed glitters. The Abracadabra palette from Makeup Revolution. I think it's good stuff. I do have all my singles basically in Roy G. Biv order, starting with my pinkies. These are some ColourPop, Delancey, more ColourPop. That one's Makeup Revolution, XLX Stone. And then, like I said, I like to press my glitters. I like to press my pigments, so these are all made by me. These are from an old Amazon palette, I believe. This is the pinks going into the reds. And these magnetic palettes I picked up on Amazon. I have some Firenze, Glaminatrix, JD Glow, and some stuff that I press myself over here from like Eyeshine. Some unmentionables over here that I depotted from, I believe, the Conspiracy palette and Blood Killer or Androgyny. I'm sorry, Blood Killer. Beauty Killer. These are actually shades that I got in one of these magnetic palettes that I ordered on Amazon from You Can Be. I didn't realize that the magnetic palette was going to be full of eyeshadows, and surprisingly enough, the eyeshadows were really great. They were pigmented and really blendable. They were really creamy to the touch. This is going into my oranges and my yellows. So again, some unmentionables up here that I depotted from one of those palettes. And then You Can Be. These are actually some ColourPop shadows over here. And this was actually one of the first little things that I picked up at Sephora, this little magnetic palette here. These are all my oranges, obviously. Again, some You Can Be, some unmentionables. Some more oranges going into the yellow. That is some Glaminatrix, some pressed glitters of mine. You Can Be, another Alexa Stone X Revolution. This one down here is from Delancey, the Maelstrom palette. I depotted that. This one is yellows going into my greens. Probably one of my favorite palettes, both because of this packaging and look at how beautiful this is. This is a ColourPop shade, some JD Glow, some pressed pigments, some things from iShine. Just a beautiful palette. Oh, and I think that I also depotted a, oh yes, and my NYX single shadows. I forgot, NYX single shadows. There's a lot of those in here. That one, there's this Venom one, beautiful. And I also depotted another, I think it was the Storybooks Cosmetics, the Robin Hood palette I got in a BoxyCharm. These are greens going into like teals or blues. I'm so sorry, you guys. I have not swatched anything going over all these eyeshadows, but that would have taken a very long time if I would have swatched all the things that I wanted to. This is more of the blue palette, blue teal, if you will. Some more greens and some more blues. Now we're getting into my purples. Some unmentionables. These are from that Delancey Maelstrom palette. These are the last 3 single eyeshadow palettes that I have. This palette is so beautiful to me. It's all the You Can Be shadows. Just, I don't know why, it's so neutral, but I really am attracted to this. Unmentionables, some JD Glow pressed pigments, pressed glitters in there. Love me a holographic glitter. This is the last one again, something I'm really attracted to just because I think it's the purples, but we are about to wrap it up. This is just my special eyeshadows. These are the palettes that I keep on my old makeup desk away from all my other palettes just because they are real special to me or very expensive. So we'll start over here. I have the Sugar Pill X Trixie Mattel Oh Honey palette. This is limited edition. It will never be sold again as far as I'm aware, and Trixie Mattel is probably my favorite drag queen of all time, so I had to pick this up, and the color story is beautiful, although it's very neutral. I love pink, so I definitely knew I wanted it. This is probably one of my more expensive palettes, though you probably can't tell from the packaging. The original packaging, it was little square Photoshop images of, I don't even remember, like a burning heart and like a couple fighting and a cup. It was not my favorite. So I painted it black and I covered it in sparkly glitter because that is just so much more appealing to me. So basically you got a full shimmer palette from Killer Queen Cosmetics. This is the Anti-Valentine's Day palette. It came with 1 matte black shade. These shimmers are amazing. I don't know if it was worth the price. This brand does offer a great discount, so I didn't pay full price, luckily, but I don't know if I would pick this up again. This is the Plain Jane Remastered palette from Adept Cosmetics. Again, an all shimmer palette, but do you see the shimmers? They are shifty and beautiful. I didn't pick up the first version of this, but when the second version came out, I definitely wanted to try this brand, and I thought this would be the perfect way because I love a good, shifty, beautiful shimmer eyeshadow palette. So this last palette before we get into Mother is my JD Glow eyeshadows. Again, these are all JD Glow except for this one that is a Glaminatrix eyeshadow, but this is my JD Glow single shadows. Oh, this is also not JD Glow. This is a Pat McGrath eyeshadow. They are all part of the Galaxy collection other than these multi-chromes, which are like in the special edition tab. So just so if you guys are looking, that's where you can find those. If you want a swatch video on any of these like all shimmer palettes, definitely let me know down in those comments. So wrapping this up, you guys, we have the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction Mothership eyeshadow palette. Looks like this. You guys have probably seen her around. She's pretty popular. The next one is the Mothership 7 Divine Rose palette. That looks like this. Very beautiful. My most recent purchase was the Utopian Mothership palette. Had to have it for this. This is the Mothership 8 Divine Rose. And lastly, but not leastly, if you guys have stuck around for this, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership Subliminal palette. She's definitely a more cool toned, but not something that I had in my collection. That is everything that I have to show you. I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the outro and I will see you there. Again, thank you so much if you stuck around. Alrighty, everybody, so that was everything in my collection. As you saw, it was a lot. I am really hoping that I can get this video edited and uploaded without a whole lot of problems because I know that it might be a long one. As I said at the start of the video, if you saw anything that caught your eye and you want to see me use it in a future video, definitely just let me know down in the comments. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my setup and all the things in my collection. I know it's a lot, but I told you that it would be a lot, so you were warned. Well, I'm gonna get to editing this video, guys, and hopefully you'll see it soon. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Like I didn't say it yet. And breathe.
In filming and uploading, filming and blah, blah, blah.
Ooh. What was I saying? Hopefully this will... I am getting a lot better. Anyway, sorry. As that you guys see. I don't know what I'm saying. And I feel like I should start over, so I'm gonna start over. I need to stop doing this. Okay. I am so sorry. There we go. Imagine if you focused, camera. That would be amazing. Definitely a pink... Ooh. Girl, I crushed her. I'm an idiot. I'm just being...
I'm being so messy. Yes, I am.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I'm a terrible cameraman. This is another Oh. I should probably clean up my station, shouldn't I? Load. And I put an expiration on it. I don't know if that was right. Key eyeshadow pencils. I'm so sorry. How long have I been recording? 20 minutes. I should probably stop now. Can you see that?
No, you just focus on nothing because that's annoying right now.
I've just flipped the camera around, and this is the first time I've done this, so hi.
And then... Alright.
Alrighty, guys. No, I don't want to open with that. So, guys, maybe I should stop saying guys.
So, y'all, no. So, y'all, from the bottom of my makeup counter.
I have no idea what happened to the freaking spray on that, but it should be in there. Good thing I know this now. Wow. So it's like an orange. Oh my goodness, where are all of them? Okay. Ah, did you see all that sparkle? Ooh!
How did you get in here? Oh, that's how it was gifted in, well, no, I bought it. Even though it should have been called Wanda. That iconic line. Oh, this is a Tartist this is the Simpton Cool.
This is the only makeup item that my boyfriend has ever bought me. The reason why is because it's so expensive.
Sorry if the camera's been shaking this whole time. Ugh. More warm nurtures Matrix Trinity. I believe this is one that nope. I'm gonna refocus because that looked like shite. Alrighty.
Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna probably get straight to editing this video. Stop looking at yourself. Stop looking at yourself.
And if you have stuck around for the whole thing, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, you guys.
Okay.
In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental woman to pump me up. Feeling fussy, working in my pussy as he is. Trying to figure out the bad mood. What do I want to say? Okay. Am I done? Am I done? I don't know.